Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jess. Today we're doing a new series where it's just a versus series where we're gonna do like something that's in a box or a bag, like kind of pre-made, but you still have to add a couple things, versus like a homemade version. I happened to be in the store the other day and I saw the monster cookies, and I think my very first video was monster cookies. They're a little bit different, but I thought this would be a perfect versus video to do for Halloween. Guest starring my sister. She's going to be making the version that's in the bag for this one. And I do want to just say a couple things. It is a little bit different. Mine's going to be like a Oreo cocoa type cookie, and this is like an oatmeal cookie, so they're not going to be identical, but we're going to kind of taste like which one we like better, and time, ease, quality, things like that. And then I'm also using the Unreal chocolates for this so that the colors kind of match. I know that's probably not the most important thing, but that's what I'm gonna do. I've never baked with these before, so I'm not 100% sure how they will do. It does call for M&Ms. We're gonna try these and just see how they are. Also, the other thing that you're gonna wanna pick up for the monster cookies are little edible eyeballs. I got these off of Amazon, but they are really, really cute on the actual cookies. So pick up a pack of those. And other than that, it's just, kind of normal stuff. So I'm going to do my cookies first, because I'm gonna use a little bit of freshly milled flour, not very much. So I'm gonna let that sit for just a minute. So I'll go ahead and do mine, and then she will come back in, do the bag version. Oh, this thing is so heavy. So I've actually made this before, these cookies. They're kind of a new staple for me for Halloween, to be honest with you. And I feel like you can use them for other stuff. If you need a black cookie, you can kind of get the color of M&Ms. If you wanted to do like a, I don't know, a Valentine's Day when you wanted the cookie and you just wanted to use red and pink M&Ms, you could easily do that. I really like this recipe, and so it actually made it into my book of recipes. And from my book, I need to show that. I actually get the paper covers, like just the plastic waterproof paper covers, and then I put my recipes that I want to keep in that. Just makes it simple to pull it out, and if it gets dirty, I can wipe it off. So I just use the sheet protectors. I use sheet protectors, and then I just have a manila folder, or no, 3-ring binder. I'll show it to you. So I did try to go ahead and pull out some of my ingredients, not all of them, but some of them to make this easy. I'm gonna go ahead and move these things that I don't need right this second out of the way. Also, both cookies will cook for 12 minutes at 350 degrees. So that worked out nicely. I can just do one sheet pan because I only have one oven. I know a lot of people have two. I have one. So we're just gonna do half the sheet pan monster cookies that are homemade, half the sheet pan monster cookies that are pre-made, or not pre-made, but pre-mixed. And then I'll put some in the freezer also to have to pull out. I went ahead and pulled my egg and my butter out so that it's at room temperature per the recipe. And it just wants you to beat the butter with the sugar until it is light and fluffy. It says about 3 minutes. And I am using my stand mixer. I've made these before, and these cookies are kind of a hard dough, so I don't feel like putting in all that work. So I will be using my mixer for this for sure. Okay, this has been fluffing for about 3 minutes, and I did have to scrape down the side a couple of times because my bowl is a little bit bigger than my paddles. I also switched paddles because I didn't feel like the other one was actually like whipping it the way I wanted it to. So I did end up putting this, I don't even know what this one's called, the multi-prong one. I don't know, the whip paddle. I'm still very new to cooking, so anyway. So I'm gonna do that, and now I'm going to add my egg and my vanilla and get that whipped. So I've said this in previous videos, my mom actually makes the vanilla that we use, and she just got a new bottle of vodka along with some new vanilla beans, and I asked her if she would record what she does. I don't know if she will have time, but I'm hoping that she does, and I'll be able to put that in a future video and just kind of show you like how she starts her vanilla and how long it sits and how many beans to put in it, because it is a little bit of a science. It's not hard. It's just, it's a little bit time consuming because most of the time you want it to sit for like a year, but the one we have that sat for like 2 years, oh, it is so good. Okay. Crack my egg separately. Perfect, no shell. All right, I'm gonna get this whipping, and then I'm gonna do, I'm actually doing 47 grams of whole wheat flour, soft white wheat flour through the mill, and then the other 80. The other 80 grams, I'm doing all-purpose flour. This calls for 127 grams of all-purpose flour. Also, this recipe is done in grams. Makes me so happy. I love baking with grams because it's exact. You don't have to guess. So 127 grams of all-purpose flour is what it calls for, but I'm going to do 47 of those grams with freshly milled soft white wheat, just to see how it turns out, exploring. This smells so good. Like, you can really smell the black cocoa and like the Oreo smell. I think this is such a great cookie recipe. I just cannot even wait. So I did mix it, and I made sure to, to scrape down the sides while I was doing it. I mean, just look how dark that is. That is amazing. So next thing, I'm gonna add my white chocolate chips, and I'm doing some regular, and I have some sugar-free white chocolate chips that I just need to use up. So I'm gonna do a little bit of both, and then throw in my Unreal M&Ms, and then I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes. And the reason I'm not gonna let it sit super long is because I don't think it needs it. I didn't use that much freshly milled flour, so I don't think it needs to sit as long as like you would normally if you were making like completely freshly milled flour. So, all right, it calls for 85 grams of white chocolate chips. So let's do 40 grams of regular chocolate chips, and then we'll do 40 grams of sugar-free white chocolate chips. I can't tell a huge difference in the sugar-free. Sometimes I feel like you can tell like sugar-free stuff has almost that sugar alcohol taste to it, and like it gets cold in your mouth. When baking, I don't really notice that much, using these chocolate chips. So I don't mind using them. I feel like I just have to use like a variety in life. Like, I don't want to use all sugar-free all the time. Because I'm not a big fan of whatever they use to make the process of the sugar-free, but I also don't mind cutting down the sugar a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like you kind of do what you're feeling in the moment and do your best when you're doing it. And then it calls for 218 grams of M&M or chocolate candies. So I'm gonna put these in, and it does say to hold a couple to put on top. I have another bag, so I'm just gonna do as much as this bag basically, and then I'll use the other bag to top it. Last year, M&M made a Ghouls M&M candy bag, and it was purple and orange and green, and it was so cute. They didn't make it this year. They made orange and black, and you wouldn't even be able to see those in this. So I got these, so it'll, we'll see how it turns out. That bag didn't even have 200 in it, so I'm gonna at least get to the 200 mark for M&Ms or Unreal chocolate gems. That looks good. So I did 186. Okay, now for the hard part, to mix this. And the reason you're hand mixing is so that it doesn't like break up the chocolate chips or break up the Unreal candy gem. You just don't want the mixture to bang those up and beat those up so that they like break. You want them whole. So that's why we're hand mixing it. And I'll be honest, this dough's tough. It is. You have to really get in there to mix it. Ooh, but it is looking good. Oh, this makes me so excited. I'm a big fan of traditions, and you'll see that when I start posting some stuff about Christmas. My whole family's really big into traditions, and this monster recipe has kind of become my Halloween tradition, I guess. Okay. Whew. That is a workout. It really, really is. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands, cover this, and let it sit for 10 minutes, and we'll be right back with Sarah, who's going to do the bag version. Okay, I just wanted to quickly pop in. It's like 6:30 in the morning and I'm trying to edit this video. My sister hates baking. Like, she doesn't mind cooking, but she does not like baking. And I just think that's pretty important to know before going into this next section. So I wanted to pop in and let you know she is not a fan of baking.
Hi friends, we're gonna make the bag version of the monster cookie, which she also didn't tell me it was oatmeal. Okay, so first thing you do is you open the bag and you pour everything in.
What?
The one thing I wasn't supposed to do.
What?
Supposed to beat the butter and this together first.
You didn't even read the instructions on the bag, right?
This is chaos. Okay, so you're gonna dump the mixture back out.
Or just don't put it in.
Or do it correctly. Okay.
Hold on.
1 egg. I'm about to implode, Jessica. Beat together butter and peanut butter in a large bowl and then add the egg.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, it's all right. It's okay.
Okay, so then you're gonna dump your egg out of the bowl.
It just means it's ready for you. Okay. Ingredients prepared.
Okay, so now you're gonna take the butter.
How?
Put it in
2
there.
tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. And then half a cup
Wait.
of peanut butter. We have this really cool invention. It pushes sticky things out. All right, and now we mix. Okay. And then we're going to slowly add the egg. Okay, then you're gonna scrape down the sides of the peanut butter and egg and butter. And now we're gonna add back in what I messed up before. And then we will blend this.
Does it say how long?
Until dough starts to come together. Now, it looks dry for cookie, right? If dough is still crumbly, use hands to form a compact round ball. Okay, so maybe
Okay.
that's normal.
Yeah. If it's giving you instructions.
Okay, so now we're going to form these into little cookie dough balls. And then we're going to bake it at 350 for 7 to 9 minutes for mini cookies, or 8 to 10 minutes for regular cookies, or 9 to 12 minutes for giant cookies. Do not overbake.
Oh.
Cookies will be slightly puffy right out of the oven, flattening as they cool to create a delicious, chewy, soft treat. Pro tip, line baking sheet with parchment paper to make cleanup a breeze.
Okay.
So we're gonna go do that.
So here they are with the little eyeballs. I decided not to put extra M&Ms or chocolate gems on my monster cookies because I wasn't able to do it on this. So we just left them as is, and honestly, they're both adorable. Not the biggest fan of this dough. It's very, very, very crumbly. And I did make these a little bit bigger because it said that they basically, or it felt like you didn't need to cook them as long as these. So I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to start with 10 minutes and see how they look. But I'm thinking they're both going to take 12 minutes. And I did these a little bit smaller, but they're so cute. I'm obsessed. So I had to improvise because I was using my 2 small half sheets, or quarter sheets, excuse me. I was using my 2 small quarter sheets. So I'm using my bread pans to put these in the freezer to let these freeze, and then I'll put them in bags tomorrow so that I can have cookies over Halloween. I'm not 100% sure what happened with these, but as you can see, the eyeballs actually melted. I think it's just because like trying to cook them at the same time, they actually, both of them I think overcooked a little bit. I did try one where I put the eyes on afterwards, but I went back and looked at the recipe and you are supposed to put the eyeballs on before they bake. I really think they just cooked too long. I'll post some of the video that I did last year when I made these and they turned out perfect. So if you're really interested in making them, I do highly suggest running back and watching that. It's a super quick video. I'll link it in the description below. But they just turned out a lot better, and I think it just has to do with how long they cooked. Now this is predominantly peanut butter oatmeal with, I guess, M&Ms of some sort in there. It's better than I thought it was gonna be. It's very crumbly, very dry, but, well, I say dry, it's just oatmeal-ish.
I think you could have had a little bit more butter.
Maybe. They're just, I don't know, they're just a little bit dry. They taste good though. I'll give them that. Mine are a little dry too. Maybe I just cooked them too long. A little bit too long. I did them for 12 minutes. Maybe we should have done 11 minutes.
They're good.
They're very good. I feel like these with milk are so good. Like they're like Oreo because of the black cocoa. I just think these are so, so, so good. But for an oatmeal cookie, I have to give props to this. All right, so time. I give mine like I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10. I didn't think these took a terrible amount of time to make.
I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, well then mine should be a 6. Mine took a little bit longer than yours.
I would have given it a 9 out of 10 if I had done it correctly.
That's a user error.
So we'll settle on 8.5.
Taste, I'm gonna give these a 9 out of 10. I think they're 10 out of 10 with milk.
Because I don't love Oreo.
I know you don't. I do.
So keep that in mind. I would give these an 8 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10.
Okay, and I give these a 9 out of 10, these a 7 out of 10. So these are not quite as good in my opinion, and her opinion, but they're not bad. Ease, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. These are pretty easy to pull together once you have all the ingredients. I feel like everything out of the box is gonna be like 9 out of 10 for time and
Ease.
But I mean, yeah, they're easy out of the box.
But I don't necessarily think it's not worth to make the homemade.
Well, and then quality. I know that these are all quality ingredients, and this box had really good ingredients in it. It was very limited. I mean, everything in it was good. So really, they both, I feel like, are equal on quality ingredients. Now, not every box is like that. I got this from Sprouts. I feel like I still lean preferring putting in the time for the Oreo ones because I feel like they're so unique. But these are really cute if you were in a hurry and wanted something decently healthy.
I would agree. I do like these better. Nice.
Yeah. All right, I just wanted to show you quickly. The monster cookies have frozen and I put them in a Ziploc bag and put the directions on how to cook them. And I'm just gonna throw these back in the freezer and I can pull them out 1 or 2 or whatever at a time and they're pre-made. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this Versus series. We're gonna try to do it once a month and just see what we can find out there. So if you have any suggestions, please put it in the comments below and we will see you next time. Thanks, bye.